Hello everybody, you're listening to Adnan Nasser. I'm a reporter here in Beirut, Lebanon, following the current conflict between the United States and Iran. Today, me and my team had the privilege of interviewing former Internal Security General Abbas Ibrahim, who gave us his insight on the diplomacy attempted to prevent a war, gave us his opinion on why Hezbollah got itself involved in the conflict on the side of Iran, and how he thinks this war is going to end. What is the role for the Lebanese diaspora in the reconstruction of Lebanon? So please enjoy and talk to you soon. General Abbas Ibrahim, thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. You're welcome anytime.
Thank you, thank you. I guess we can go directly to it.
Yeah.
We've reached past the 30th day mark since the regional wars started by the United States and Israel and the attempt to overthrow the Iranian government. Mm-hmm. And the ripple effects were affected or met and felt immediately across the region. And we're living in a capital now that's being bombed almost on a daily basis, Beirut. Is this something that you could have foreseen, or is this something you would have expected, given your time as a man who was involved in shuttle diplomacy?
Yeah, it was expected indeed. And from my point of view, it was a strategic mistake taken by United States itself. And Mr. Rubio, the State Department, in the State Department said that we are acting in a meaning. He said we are acting according to the action planned by the Israelis. So nobody can go to a war according to others' plan. This is first. Second, the Americans are putting or dressing a target for this war, starting with changing regime, then nuclear capabilities, they want to eliminate it, the missiles, and the winner at the end in any war is the one who can achieve his political aim or his political goal. So far, what happened? Let's look at not at the battlefield. Let's look at a strategic and political level. What happened? What the Americans achieved so far? Nothing. Strait of Hormuz was opening. Now it's closed. And you know very well that 20% of the energy, let's say, are passing through this strait. And now somebody or the Yemenis are threatening the world that they will close Bab el-Mandeb as well.
Yes.
So you can see who's have the upper hand so far. So the Americans didn't reach their political goal. It means that they're not winning, or they don't have the upper hand, let's say, so far. And changing the regime, everybody knows, and the history gives us a lesson saying that changing the regime needs to have a boot on the ground. Nobody can change the regime from the airstrike with the airstrike. So all what they're doing is nothing. I believe that they are working for Israelis' goal, not for American goal. The midterm election is coming. We are close to it. We will see how it's gonna affect the Republican in the election. So in all means, look at the price of the oil, at the price of the food, fertilizer, everything. They put us in a very terrible position. And I believe that Netanyahu is leading the world to a catastrophic destiny.
You were saying about the American decision to go to war was based on this push by the Israelis.
I didn't say so. Mr. Rubio said so.
No, Mr. Rubio
and I believe that's right.
And you say that's accurate?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Look, Adnan, United States has nothing to do with Iran, indeed. Israel has a problem with Iran. I want anyone to tell me what is the problem between United States and Iran itself. The Iranians are free to have their own regime. They are free on their soul to do whatever they want to do. And the United States is a democratic country. So how can you force the others to change their regime? They have no problem with Iran itself, according to their doctrine. They believe in freedom, they believe in democracy. But the problem, as I told you, is between the Israelis and the Iranian. And the United States is here to back the Israelis. But unfortunately, they are backing them in a wrong way.
And you remember right before the war, I think almost 24 hours, the Omanis were saying that they were on the cusp of a grand bargain, something that even the Iranians were willing to make concessions.
Yeah, they were going to Geneva. It means a lot that they moved from Oman to Vienna, I believe, not to Geneva, to Vienna. And the Omani said that everything is going well, but this is not the first time. You remember the last time they were during negotiation and President Trump appeared and he said, maybe Sunday we have a session for negotiation, and Friday they started the war. The same thing happened now. So now we need somebody to guarantee if they want again to negotiation. Who's going to be the guarantor in this issue? Who's guarantee the American word? I believe that the Iranian can't count on the Iranian word anymore.
The American
on the American word anymore, and in the Israelis as well.
And you were quoting Secretary Marco Rubio saying that we did this based on Israeli desires, and that the Israelis were going to attack, and that we had to join them.
Yeah. Because the Israeli convinced them that when we start attacking Iran, the Iranian will hit your position in the Gulf area, which is not true.
They have hit American positions as a form of retaliation. As the war started, the Iranians didn't start this war, the Americans did.
Yeah, because the first attack against the school in Iran, it was a combined mission between the American and the Israelis.
Correct.
And they declared that. So the Americans started the war against Iran, and the Iranian has to respond in a way. And they responded toward or against the American bases in the region firstly, then now you know what's going on.
Yes, yes. And with
they expanded
the war, and now everybody is feeling it, including here in Lebanon.
Yeah, everybody's paying the price now.
Yes. But I would say, well, I would ask you about your position on Hezbollah's decision to enter the war.
But let me add something.
Yes.
This war costs us a lot. And who's paying for this? The American taxpayer. They are paying for a war that they don't believe in it. They don't believe that this war is for their interest. They don't believe that this war is to defend America or to defend the American values. They believe that they are supporting a country, and that's it.
You're seeing now a growing number of Americans. There's polls showing that are critical of Israel, but more specifically critical of America's role in fighting Israel's wars.
Yeah, the Americans are asking now why we are fighting in the Middle East, why we are attacking Iran. This is a big question among the American community.
Yes.
Especially that, as you know, as I said before, it costs us a lot. The money that they paid, it can make a lot of issue for the American people. Look at the prices inside the United States.
But this is one of the things that Trump's ran on in his last campaign, that he's going to bring prices down, price of commodities, goods, gasoline. Now we're seeing not just an uptick in inflation, but maybe hyperinflation.
Yeah, President Trump was looking for a Nobel Prize.
Yes. He was looking for a Nobel Prize, he promised to end all these wars.
Yeah, he will close all wars files in the world, not only in the region.
That's right. That's right.
Where is he now from this?
Now he's involved in this catastrophe. Yeah. And one of the great mistakes I think he's learned, and many previous presidents did not make this mistake, was attacking Iran would lead to unpredictable or dangerously predictable outcomes for everyone in the region and the world.
But I was following that before, and everybody was telling him it's wrong, we cannot, and everybody warned him about the Strait of Hormuz, and he didn't listen.
Was he convinced by potentially even not just Netanyahu, but his own sense of grandeur that, in your judgment,
no, as I know, that the Mossad convinced him that it's gonna be a win war,
an easy war,
and United States will have the upper hand in the region again, and something like that. But he discovered later on that it was false and it was wrong.
But he's also learning now, from his point of view, and the American point of view. I don't want to speak for the administration, but it appears he fears pulling out in a way that gives Iran leverage against him in potential negotiations, or that would weaken America's position in the region. But is it too late?
No, I don't believe in that. Iranian has a problem with the United States, that the United States is supporting Israel. This is the only point that they have problem between Iran and United States. But they didn't attack United States before. I remember once when they assassinated Soleimani, they hit in Iraq, they hit Ain al-Assad position or American base,
yes,
as let's say revenge. But that's it. In the history, there is no problem between Iran and United States in battlefield, let's say. Politically, they have a lot of problem, but it doesn't lead both sides to a battlefield, or it doesn't take them to a battlefield. So, as I told you, the Mossad, as I read in the media, in American media specifically, the Mossad was behind the decision taken by President Trump. And they convinced him that it's going to be easy, it will be over in a couple days, and if we assassinate the supreme leader and the Iranian leader, so it will be over. No. It's not what happened.
No.
Even the American agency, they told him no, it's not true.
The CIA
and the National Security, everybody. And we saw the resign of Mr. Khan.
Yes.
And he's now appearing in TV and talking about that Israel is behind this war, and we're not convinced, and we weren't guaranteed that the war will work for our interest.
Now that the objectives it appears the early objectives of the United States is not being achieved, even though President Trump is now saying regime change is de facto a reality in Iran. Is he ready to end this war by any means, even if it makes him look like he failed in his...
President Trump?
Yes.
I believe that they have to stop somewhere here, and he's always pushing for negotiation these days. And as we follow, the Iranians still refuse that, because the condition that he's trying to submit on them is very hard to be acceptable.
I believe the Iranians called it maximalist.
Yeah, but this is a roof for both sides. Send their papers in the beginning, but I believe that we are on the right track to have this negotiation, and I hope it will take place soon.
In the meantime, while negotiations or diplomacy is being tried and attempted, we still see people getting killed, especially here in Lebanon.
Yeah.
Hezbollah joined the war almost immediately after the killing of Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran.
Yeah.
And many Lebanese, including those of Hezbollah's constituency, the Shia community in the south, are the ones paying the highest price because of this.
Yes.
What is your position, if I may ask? Was it sensible or was it understandable why Hezbollah would join the war?
Yes, in a way, yes, for Hezbollah. Here I'm not talking about Lebanon or other Lebanese people, but for Hezbollah it's well understandable, because Hezbollah believe that to be a part of the war, it means that he's gonna be a part of the, let's say, concession at the end. And Hezbollah wants to be on the regional table, not in the domestic one, because he tried the domestic one after the last war, and he paid very high prices. He has about 500 martyrs or killed people during the ceasefire.
Yes.
So he had nothing from the first time. What he's trying to do is to be related to the negotiation which is coming. And I believe the Iranian, and they said it already before, the Iranian will refuse any ceasefire without, let's say, their allies in the region. It means Iraq, Lebanon, and Yemen as well. But their priority, I believe, is Lebanon. So Hezbollah will, this is the way he's thinking.
Yes.
And the Iranian assured that he will be a part of this formula at the end. And this is why he joined the Iranian. I don't think militarily Iran needs Hezbollah. They can't back him in a way.
Yes.
But Hezbollah chose this moment because the majority of the Israeli forces have a priority in Iran, to fight Iran. So this is one reason in addition.
You're saying
to make the balance with the Israelis.
And to make having additional fronts also does, in a way, relieve pressure on Iran.
Yeah. It's not a big pressure. Hezbollah has interest to join this war. It's not purely Iranian interest. And as I told you, militarily speaking, Iran doesn't need Hezbollah to back it.
Would you say the decision was an independent Hezbollah? Hezbollah made that decision independently, or was it coordinated?
No, I'm not saying so. I'm not saying so. But the relation between Iran and Hezbollah, it's not relation between allies. Okay, it has a doctrinal base. So I'm sure they coordinate. I'm approximately sure that Hezbollah convinced the Iranian about what already I said, that he wants to be a part of the formula at the end, of the solution at the end. And that's why the Iranians said, if you have interest, let's do it. Why not?
To summarize what you
as Hezbollah, I'm not talking here about Lebanon. I'm talking about Hezbollah
as a political
itself.
party in itself.
Yeah, as a political party. Yeah.
I think this is a point that maybe some of critics, there has been some critics of yours, even within the American Lebanese diaspora, that would say that you cover for Hezbollah, that you have come to their defense when there's nothing to reconcile with what they're doing in terms of the interest of Lebanon's sovereignty. What is your response to some of the critics that you face?
I want those people to criticize me, to be Lebanese first of all, and to listen carefully what I said. I don't want to try to analyze things and get out with some wrong idea. They know me very well. I believe that those people know me. They know me very well, and they know my history, being in this Security General or in the army in the past. I can say they're not. I said if the Shia defeated, Lebanon will be defeated. This is what they took from my interview, maybe. But I used to say, if in the past, I used to say, and I'll tell you something, Adnan. I paid a visit to the Pope in the past.
The Pope?
Yeah, to the Pope in the past in Vatican. And we had no president at that time. We have a vacuum in this presidential palace.
This is when you were the head of internal security.
Yeah. And I asked him to help us and encourage us and facilitate in all means that he can to elect a president. And when he asked me why, and you are Shia, I said because the president of Lebanon is the is a president of the Christian in our region, because he's a symbol for those Christian people, and we don't want the Christian people to leave our area and to leave Lebanon specifically, because we want those Christians to be a part of our community. Otherwise, without those Christians, Lebanon will lose.
It would lose its distinct identity.
His identity,
yes,
as Lebanon, the Lebanon that we all know. And he promised me at that time that he will help. After the assassination of Prime Minister Hariri, I had the same position talking about the Sunni community. If any community or any sect have broken in the country, it means the balance inside the country will change. Why when I spoke about the Shia, they criticized me. Why they didn't do it before? So I want everybody to understand that this is my position at the end. I wasn't talking because I'm Shia. I'm proud to be Shia, but I was talking politics.
Yes, transcending sectarian identity or confessional identity.
Yeah, that's it.
And just to add to your point, we as Lebanese, we put our country before anything.
Yeah.
However, you do recognize the specific role that the Christians played in founding this country.
Yeah, Lebanon is not Lebanon without any part of it.
Right. Yeah. When it comes to the Shia, Sunni, Druze, everyone.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's interesting because you were a man, you can share now, if you're still involved in shuttle diplomacy, you were someone that the Americans heavily depended on in relieving the fears of Americans living in the region. I mean, there were, as one we know, Sam Goodwill, if I'm not mistaken.
Some Goodwill, and Nizar Zakka as well.
That's right. That's right. You helped America relieve them from their captivity, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Are you still involved in any shuttle diplomacy?
Yes, for sure.
For sure.
For sure, I'm still having channels. I'm in good contact with the majority of the diplomatic corps in the country, and we exchange ideas about everything, especially these days. I'm always having meeting with them. Yes, I'm still active in this field.
You're still active in this field. What do they ask of you now, if there's anything?
How to stop the war? Which kind of idea I have about ceasing fire, first of all, in Lebanon? This is. It takes hours talking about that.
We don't think we have that time.
Yeah.
Maybe another time.
And yes, I'm still active in this field.
Just Summer, a few more questions on the Lebanese government's response to this crisis. This government that was founded in 2024, or late 2024, early 2025.
Yeah, after the war.
After the war. The political dynamics, even geopolitical dynamics, had completely changed in the region.
Yeah.
But there was hope with the government, first election of President Joseph Aoun and the premiership of current Prime Minister Nawaf Salam and his cabinet. There was hope that they would push for reform, including the integration of Hezbollah's arms into the military, into a national defense strategy, including also other reforms that are important, banking reform, etc. The most important thing is building trust. That's the number one core of a legitimate government. Right now, it does not seem this government has any trust from its people. From the Lebanese people to carry out the promises that they had made. And now the Shia community feel isolated from this government.
Let's give an example, Adnan, about what's going on now. No, the government took many decisions, sovereign decisions, but unfortunately, it has been taken selectively. And the sovereignty cannot be a la carte. And let me talk about the decision to expel the Iranian ambassador.
Yes.
Lately. It's a sovereign decision taken by the government because maybe he broke the Vienna Agreement or the Vienna Treatment, But I think the government has to take this decision as a sovereign decision, not as a selective one. We have many ambassadors who interfere in our internal issue and who used to make a statement that hurt the Lebanese people. People's ambassador, let's say, saying, we spoke to the Lebanese army and asking him to do so and so. So decision cannot be, or sovereignty cannot be a selective issue. And I'm not saying that I'm against this decision, but we don't have to exercise the double standard in the country. So this is a weak point. This is a good decision which had been taken, but it should be with all our against or a standard for all the people who are trying to interfere in our issue.
If you say
this is an example, let's say.
If there's the principle of preventing external forces from involving themselves or directing you on your internal matters, this should be applied universally, not selectively, as you say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And in addition, I'm telling you, Hezbollah called for a negotiation after the 2024 war. And they said that we are ready for negotiation, even about our arm and how to defend Lebanon. And they call it the strategic, the defense strategy.
National defense strategy, yes.
And nobody listened, even the government, they didn't listen. They didn't call for a table to negotiate that. Now it's about 1 year and a half, and we're calling to a dialogue with Israel. So we had to have this dialogue among us as Lebanese to start to find a way how to have a strategic exit from our problem. If it doesn't work, then we can move to talk to our enemy at the end. But let's say go over the negotiation or the talks between us directly to the Israeli side. It's something, in my belief, it's something wrong. We have to talk. We have to find we have to solve our problem among us. And if we couldn't, we can find other ways. So this is another example.
This is another example, but to kind of play the advocate of the government's position for a moment. Is it not the case that when Hezbollah uses its arms at a time where the government is telling them explicitly don't act outside the armed forces, doesn't it make negotiations even between two parties more difficult?
No, Hezbollah at that time, I'm not defending anyone also, but Hezbollah at that time asked for guarantee. They want guarantee. They want the people to go back to their villages. They want the Israeli to withdraw. And they want the prisoners to be released from the Israelis' jail, and nobody listening. We used all the diplomatic channel and no guarantee. And even Mr. Barak at that time said, you have to be disarmed, but we cannot guarantee what the Israelis is going to do. So how it comes?
So they're asking the Lebanese to restrain themselves, but at the same time, simultaneously, the Americans are saying that we cannot guarantee your safety or security.
Sure. How you want those people to be disarmed? And from the other hand, we should arm the Lebanese army. We should strengthen the Lebanese army to defend the country. In this case, if we strengthen or support or arm the Lebanese army in a way to defend the country, there is no need for anybody to be armed.
On this point, final question, is Hezbollah ready in principle to give up its arms or integrate its arms in the event the Lebanese army is willing to take on an active role in defending the country?
I'm not sure, but when he called for defensive strategy, national defense strategy,
yes,
it means that he should be ready.
On the final point of the Lebanese diaspora, Usually when there's a conflict, no matter what is going on in the country, but especially during a crisis, the diaspora always jumps in to play a vital role for the survival and the continuation of Lebanon.
Yeah.
But that's going to continue, and they will continue to do that. But there's enormous bitterness and frustration when they see their country in this cycle of violence.
Yeah.
Once the fighting is over, what should be the active role that the diaspora can play beyond just sending remittances and economic aid? Is there a political role they could play?
Yeah. First of all, the support of the country shouldn't be emotional. It should be discipline.
Yes.
So the diaspora used to transfer money for their families in the country to support them with every crisis, not only with wars. But and it's a vital role playing by them. But it's not about how to feed or how to support your family in the country. It's about the interest of the country itself. Now they are in a position in a historical moment to help the country, but it's an historical opportunity for them to invest in the country. We want this. We want our people in or diaspora to come and invest. In this way, they don't need to transfer money to their family anymore. And they can make money. They can invest in power plant, they can invest in tourism field, they can invest in technology. Lebanon needs many things in all fields. So they can come and invest. And we don't want their money to be swollen again.
I think that's their greatest fear.
Yeah.
Right.
So they need trust, first of all. They need trust on our governance. They need trust on our politicians in the country. And I believe that they are used. And I have a good communication with them. And they told me that we are ready to rebuild the country, but first of all, give us trust. And this is the way that we have to find it after, or to look for it after the war. The trust of the people in our politician.
On that note, thank you for your time, General Abbas Ibrahim.
You're welcome, Adnan.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Until
You're
next
welcome.
time. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching that. If you enjoyed it, please follow us, subscribe, like it, share with others, and we hope to produce more similar content for you to enjoy.